Ethan said register our marriage and announce it publicly once he won his grand. I invested hundreds of millions, managing his promotions and finding him renowned directors. At the awards ceremony for the final major prize, I wore a wedding-style gown, waiting for his public proposal. During his acceptance speech, he gazed adoringly at the leading actress in the audience. Sophie is my soulmate, my creative partner. Thanks to her, I was able to win this award. That night, shipping news about him and Sophie was all over the internet. I saw it and simply said, starting rumors with Sophie will be detrimental to your career. I didn't even rebuke him for not mentioning me once on stage. Yet, he flared up in a rage. So what if I didn't propose to you publicly, and thank Sophie instead? You always badmouth her. I've wanted to break up with you for a long time. Sophie gives me inspiration for acting and can discuss creative ideas with me. You're reeking of materialism, and besides throwing money around, you're no help to my career. After he finished speaking, he warned coldly, don't even think about buying negative trending topics to bully Sophie. Don't forget, this company became the industry leader today because of me. If you dare to cause trouble, I'll immediately switch to a rival company. He seemed to have forgotten. I was the one who personally made him a best. If he wouldn't listen, then I'd just promote someone else. Grace, I've wanted to break up with you for a long time. All you know is to throw money at promotions and force me to act in those vulgar commercial films. I pursue true art. Do you understand? He looked at me mockingly. You don't understand. Talking to you is like talking to a brick wall. We no longer have any common ground. What I need is a partner who can discuss creative concepts with me. Someone like Sophie. An uncultured nouveau rich like you will only hold me back. I was speechless. He seemed to have forgotten how he became a best today without my investment in those commercially successful films. Seeing my silence, he smiled as if victorious and stormed out. As soon as he left, he immediately went visiting the set for Sophie. He even ostentatiously bought hundreds of bubble teas and gourmet takeout from a luxury hotel, treating the entire crew. Leading, he personally met with the director and screenwriter, building momentum and backing her up. Facing the interview cameras, he made no secret of it. Sophie is my muse. She helps me get into character quickly and allows me to perform beyond my usual level. My actor award and this show's huge success are all thanks to her. She's incredibly talented and carries herself with dignity and self-respect, a breath of fresh air. She's nothing like those actors in the entertainment industry today who resort to schmoozing and fawning for roles. I hope everyone can see Sophie for who she is and give her plenty of support. The moment he said that, the expressions of the previously laughing actors watching subtly shifted. An actor with considerable standing scoffed, given what he just said. Didn't Ethan also get to where he is today thanks to Ms. Grace's capital? Other actors chimed in, talking over each other. Is he visiting the set for Sophie to make their relationship public? I heard Ethan and Ms. Grace have been together for many years and are about to get married, so, Sophie and him. Ethan's face darkened, and he shot them a glare. An actor quickly pulled a few people aside and whispered, don't say anything else. Last month, a popular actor said Sophie's acting was subpar, and Ethan blacklisted him. His career was ruined. He couldn't afford the breach of contract penalty, and had to switch careers to being a delivery driver. Ethan sneered, pulled Sophie closer, and spoke directly in front of the live stream interview. This is the perfect opportunity for me to announce something to my fans. I intend to officially pursue Sophie. His eyes gleamed, and he knelt on one knee. Sophie, I hope you can give me a chance. Let me have an official title to protect you. Sophie's eyes widened, and she kept backing away. How could I possibly? Ethan, I only look up to you as a senior colleague and an idol. Her face flushed, tears glistening. How could someone like me be worthy of you? Especially since you and Ms. Grace are getting married. She bit her lip, her voice firm. Although I'm not from as privileged a background as you and Ms. Grace, I also understand dignity and self-respect. I wouldn't be a mistress, nor would I steal someone else's man. Tears streamed down her face. Rather than Ms. Grace's retaliation ruining my career and bringing shame upon my family in the future, I'd rather quit the entertainment industry now, go back to my hometown, get a simple job, and settle down. After speaking, she cried and tried to leave. Ethan, deeply pained, embraced her tightly. Silly girl, with me here, I won't let anyone bully you. Grace and I have no relationship whatsoever. If anything, it's just her one-sided harassment. How could I possibly like such a woman, full of schemes? I only love you. Watching the live stream, I scoffed. He was truly blinded by love, not caring if his fans would be hurt by seeing this. Mai, however, was furious and kept calling Ethan. Do you want to quit the industry? Do you want to pay 10 times the breach of contract penalty? For so many years, Ms. Grace loved you so much, holding back from going public. Just afraid your fans would be disappointed and ruin your future, and you? For a newcomer starlet, you don't care about your fans anymore. Use your brain. If she really didn't have a sugar daddy, how could she land a lead role in a major production right after her debut? Ethan only replied, Grace told you to call and badmouth Sophie, trying to drive a wedge between us, didn't she? Tell her I'm going to sign Sophie into the company and fully promote her. If doesn't agree, I'll take Sophie and switch to a rival company. Don't forget, she just signed a performance agreement at the beginning of the year. If she can't make $1 billion in a year, she'll have to hand over all her shares, be kicked out of her CEO position, and pay double compensation. If she doesn't want to become a debt defaulter, she'll do as I say. Upon hearing these words, I knew that Ethan and I couldn't end things peacefully. I needed to brief the executives and prepare to remove Ethan with minimal loss. I said, tell him to come back immediately. I'm holding an executive meeting to decide on his contract issues. Ethan, however, thought I was planning to discuss signing Sophie into the company. His tone softened considerably. As long as she's willing to make concessions, I'll bring Sophie back now. Within minutes, he arrived with Sophie. He abruptly pushed open the conference room door and said, Grace, I'm really glad you're being cooperative. After all these years we've been together, even if we break up, we can still be good friends, right? His tone softened. As long as you don't make things difficult for Sophie, even if she and I get married, I'll always save a place for you by my side. My assistant spoke as if she'd seen a ghost. What does he mean? Is he planning for you, a CEO, to be his mistress? The executives present all turned their gaze to me, some with mockery, some enjoying the drama. I took a deep breath and decided to speak plainly, also letting all the executives know my stance. Ethan, since you betrayed me and chose Sophie, then let's cut all ties between us. I neither want to be friends with you nor do I need a place by your side. Our only relationship is an employer-employee one. He scoffed. Talking out of anger is pointless. You've been with me for 10 years. How could you truly bring yourself to break up? Even if you find someone new, they wouldn't compare to me. Don't worry. I told Sophie that you waited for me for many years but couldn't have a happy ending with me. Sophie also deeply pained for you and is willing to let me keep you company when you're lonely. You should remember her kindness. From now on, let her choose the company's resources first, as a way to make it up to her. I looked at him. The man who was once dazzling in my eyes now appeared utterly mediocre. I shook my head. I just realized today that once I removed my rose-tinted glasses, you're just a narcissist. Who do you think you are? To be worthy of Grace becoming your mistress. I tapped the table, about to announce my plan, but emerged from behind him and said to me, Ms. Grace, you're not a mistress. I won't let you talk about yourself like that. I gave her a cold look. She pouted and said, Ethan told me everything. You're so devoted, giving up everything for him, and you even waited 10 years for him. I admire you. I want to learn from you, so I can soon be worthy of Ethan. Ethan embraced her and said, Why would you learn from her? You're already wonderful. Grace can't even compare to half of you. I love how you simply pursue art and are so naive. Grace is reeking of materialism. If you learn from her, you'll only become materialistic. Sophie shook her head and said, I want to be as excellent as Ms. Grace. Someone who can help you. She tugged at Ethan, pouting. Ethan, you've contributed so much to the company. The executives must listen to your arrangements, right? Can you get them to mentor me so I can learn to manage the company in addition to acting? Ethan looked at her, moved, then turned to me and said, Arrange a vice position for Sophie, and you personally guide her on how to manage the company. Oh, and give her all your shares anyway. The three of us will be all one family, so it doesn't matter whose hands the shares are in. I took a deep breath, regretting ever calling them back to discuss the contract. Call the security guards and throw them out. Ethan scoffed when he heard me say that. The one thing I hate most about you is how stubborn you are. Never knowing when to back down. I gave you a chance. But since you don't appreciate it, then forget it. Even if you cry and beg me to look at you in the future, I won't be soft-hearted. With that, he pulled Sophie and turned to leave. After he left, several executives looked at me with serious expressions. Don't forget about the billion-yuan performance agreement. If you really kick Ethan out, without this cash cow, and with only 3 months left, what will you do? I glanced at those present and asked, so, what's your suggestion? A shareholder spoke up. I actually have a solution. A strategic marriage. Marry the CEO of a rival company. Derek mentioned a while ago that if you agree, he's willing to inject $1 billion, and the performance agreement would be fulfilled. He smiled like a sly fox. Ms. Grace, you chose love before, and everyone saw how that turned out. Why not opt for a strategic marriage instead? A strong alliance, and take the company to a higher position. I hear the wedding banquet and venue are already booked. Why not just officially announce your marriage with Derek and get married as soon as possible? My gaze swept over each of their faces. Ethan's betrayal and the company's instability. It allowed me to see who the real parasites were. It was worth it, in a way. I nodded. You have a point. I'll consider it. After the meeting, my assistant stopped me, her expression worried. That is famously perverse in the industry. Ms. Grace, are you really going to? I patted her hand. What are you thinking? Of course. I won't have a strategic marriage with him. Don't underestimate my connections in the industry. I took out my phone and replied to a long-delayed message. I've made up my mind. Let's have a strategic marriage. You help me through this difficulty, and I'll help you deal with your family. The other side replied almost instantly. Deal? I handed my phone to her. If won't cooperate, then I'll promote an even more impressive best. I refuse to believe I can't fulfill the performance agreement. My assistant stared at the screen, shocked, and after a moment, she snapped back to reality and excitedly hugged me. If this person comes out of retirement, let alone $1 billion, $100 billion won't be far off. I'll go immediately and recall all of Ethan's resources, saving them for this person. I thought of the wedding venue I had booked. Ethan had once held me and said how much he wanted to win best quickly and marry me soon. That's why I had booked the wedding venue and wedding dress before the awards ceremony. Now it wouldn't be a waste. With a different groom, it could still be used. I sent messages to the hotel and wedding planner, asking them to remake the groom's suit. After all, he was nearly 10 centimeters taller than Ethan. My assistant rushed back, fuming. Ethan just skipped work and went out to play with Sophie. The director and sponsors are furious and want us to pay for the damages, I said calmly. The contract states that any compensation resulting from his personal reasons will be borne by him. Let him be. That evening, Big Data pushed Sophie's social media posts to me. Ethan heard had never seen the sea, so he brought me to Santorini. He said he wanted Santorini to witness his love for me. I scrolled down, little by little, only to discover Ethan constantly appearing in her old vlogs. She accompanied him on trips. He visited the set from afar, Sophie deeply pained as she wiped the dust from his forehead. Ethan, the filming location isn't even accessible by car. You didn't walk all the way here, did you? How long did you walk? Ethan's eyes were full of her. Only about 10 hours. I was worried you'd suffer, so I had to see it for myself to feel at ease. I recalled the time of that video that day. When he came home, I wanted to take him to try on his wedding suit. He said wearily, Grace, I'm exhausted from non-stop filming to win best. Can I please rest? I was puzzled then. He only had one interview that day, so that's it? That's what it was. It wasn't until I saw a photo of Sophie showing off a diamond ring that I suddenly froze. That ring was Ethan's and my token of love, a family heirloom his mother left for his future wife. He had once personally put it on my finger, saying it would keep me by his side forever. 6 months ago, he asked me to take it off, saying he needed it for maintenance. It turned out he took it to give to his new woman. I scoffed and turned off my phone. Yet, I saw a message from Ethan. Didn't you say at the executive meeting that you wanted to cut all ties with me and only have an employer-employee relationship? Why are you having the hotel call me? I paused, immediately realizing the hotel had misunderstood. He then sent another message. You love me that much. Even after I said I only love Sophie, you still refuse to cancel the wedding and insist on getting married? Fine. You waited 10 years to marry me, and this wedding is something I owe you. I can marry you. But on one condition, you let Sophie have the wedding. Let her and I get married first. Once it's over, I'll marry you again. After all, she's the first wife, and you're just a mistress. It wouldn't make sense for a mistress's wedding to come before the first wife's, would it? I frowned. Ethan's arrogance had become so absurd it was beyond reason. What kind of illusion had I given him to make him think I'd willingly become his mistress for love? I blocked his number immediately. Not long after, he used another number. What are you still stirring up trouble for? I've given you a chance out of consideration for our past. And you're still not satisfied? I know they're forcing you to have a strategic marriage with Derek to save the company. As long as you give in, I guarantee I can help you fulfill the $1 billion agreement and humiliate those people. Crazy. I took some time to go back to our home, intending to clear out his belongings. The moment I stepped inside, I froze. All the furniture I had prepared was gone. The designer leather sofa was piled in the trash room. Slashed, in its place was a cheap fabric sofa. Our wedding photos, my artworks, all in the trash can. Covered in food scraps, my anger flared up. I rushed upstairs and pushed open the bedroom door. Sophie shrieked. She scrambled out of Ethan's arms. Wearing my pajamas, Ethan, interrupted, looked annoyed. Why didn't you say you were coming back? This is my home. Why should I tell you? I rushed to check the safe. The jewelry and property deed were all gone. I trembled all over, looking at them. Where are my things? Where did you put them? Ethan paused, then said nonchalantly, what do you mean yours? Aren't yours mine? You don't usually wear those jewelry pieces. And you have so many houses. You won't miss a few. I gave them all to Sophie as engagement gifts. After all, why should a mistress live better than the first wife? I lunged forward and slapped Ethan. Ethan, I've tolerated you for too long. I'm giving you 10 minutes to return my things. Take your woman and get out of my house. Sophie rushed over, crying out, don't hit Ethan, hit me instead. It's all my fault for my humble background, for being too poor. Ethan deeply pained for me. That's why he gave me those things. I'll immediately have my parents bring the things back. She reached out to grab me, and her long nails scratched my arm. I felt a sharp pain and immediately pushed her away. She shrieked, falling to the floor. Ms. Grace, I was wrong. Don't hit me. I'll give everything back to you. She cried piteously, and Ethan immediately deeply pained. He pushed me away and picked up Sophie. I stumbled, nearly falling down the stairs, but managed to grab the railing. Grace, I've been far too lenient with you. Ethan roared. I shouldn't have been holding on to past feelings, letting you stay by my side. You think by bullying Sophie, you can force her away and then marry me, don't you? I clenched my teeth and uttered just one word. Get out. I pressed the alarm button and called the security guards in. Ethan, however, remained unfazed. He kissed Sophie's forehead and looked at me coldly. Grace, I won't spoil you any more this time. I want you to know that Sophie is not someone you can bully. I must teach you that as my mistress, you not only have to behave and not cause trouble for Sophie, but you must also respect Sophie and treat her as your superior. Sophie pulled him back, shaking her head. No, I'll just keep my distance from Ms. Grace in the future, and she won't make things difficult for me. Ethan dotingly poked her nose. Silly girl, I'm helping you establish your authority. Once I've disciplined her, she'll treat you like the lady of the house, serving you tea and water, and even carrying your bags and paying for you. I stared at them and uttered just 2 words. You're crazy. The security guards came up, and I pointed at the 2 of them. Throw them out. The next second, the security guards pinned me to the ground. My knees hit the floor, and I felt excruciating pain. I was shocked. What are you doing? This is my home. The security guards sneered. Stop spouting nonsense. Everyone knows this house belongs to Ethan. We've never seen you before. They curried favor with Ethan. How do you plan to deal with this bitch? Ethan narrowed his eyes. She pushed Sophie. Break her arm. I roared. Ethan, you're crazy. I turned and yelled at the security guards. Let go of me. I'm the owner. I dare any of you to touch me. They just laughed. You say you're the owner? Where's the property deed? The property deed had already been taken by Ethan. I stiffened, clenching my teeth as I shouted, Ethan, tell them to let go of me. His expression darkened, and he sighed. Grace, stop making a scene. I don't necessarily want to hurt you, all right? I'll record you with my phone. You kneel and kowtow to Sophie, apologize, and promise to treat her as your master from now on. Then give her your company shares. I'll have them let you go. I gritted my teeth. In your dreams, let go of me, or I'll ruin your reputation. He frowned. Grace, I hate your stubborn temper the most. Since you won't listen to me, I won't deeply pain for you anymore. He looked up and ordered, slap her 100 times. Break her mouth. For her stubbornness and refusal to back down. Blows rained down, and my face became a bloody mess. My vision blurred. Ethan frowned as he looked at me, finally speaking. Grace, Please just give in. Seeing you hurt, I can't bear it. You're torturing me like this. I was already semi-conscious, lying motionless on the ground. His brow twitched, and he stopped the security guards. Enough. Stop hitting her. Take her to the police station and say she's trespassing and assault. Detain her for a week. He touched my cheek. Grace, cool down in the detention center. When you come to your senses and are willing to apologize, I'll pick you up. And we'll go straight to our wedding. As soon as I arrived at the police station, my phone rang. Hearing about the situation, Daniel rushed over that night. He brought a top lawyer, who not only got me out but also ensured those security guards were charged with assault and sent to jail. He sat beside me and took out some ointment. I tried to pull away, but he held my hand. Grace, do you want to see Ethan suffer? He winked. I'll get revenge for you. The next day, the entertainment industry dropped a bombshell. Daniel, the one that got away, who had been out of the industry for a long time, announced his comeback. Capital and renowned directors flocked to him. Ethan's fans were already unhappy about him making his relationship public. They unfollowed him on the spot and switched allegiance to Daniel. Ethan was frantic, scrambling for deals and trying to appease his fans. Watching his disheveled state, a lot of the resentment in my heart dissipated. I calmly recovered from my injuries and prepared for the wedding. The day before the wedding, Ethan finally remembered me. He called the hotel and, learning the wedding was still on, breathed a sigh of relief. He smiled, convinced. I knew Grace loved me. She wouldn't really be angry. He put on his suit and told Sophie to put on her wedding dress and go to the hotel first. He then rushed to the detention center. Grace is so proud. Yet now she's willing to give in for me. Then I'll concede a step too. I'll let her and Sophie marry me together, without distinguishing between first wife and mistress. But what greeted him was a cold notification. I wasn't there. He assumed I had already been released and immediately rushed to the hotel. Just as he arrived at the entrance, he saw Sophie being thrown out. Her wedding dress was disheveled, and she looked utterly humiliated. He roared, "What are you doing? Today is my wedding with her, and with Grace. Who told you to bully the bride? Was it Grace?" The doorman looked at him strangely. "It's Ms. Grace's wedding today, that's right. But the groom is her strategic marriage partner, not you. What nonsense are you spouting?" Ethan rushed forward and grabbed the doorman's collar. How could Grace ever agree to marry a scum of society like Derek? She's such a proud person. She wouldn't even give in to someone she loves deeply like me. So how could she stoop to marry someone like that? Who sent you to spread rumors about Grace on our wedding day? He angrily raised his hand to punch. Do you believe I'll have my lawyer pursue your boss for this? Unfortunately, his fist didn't land before the security guards pulled him away. Are you crazy? The doorman looked at him as if he were insane. Everyone in the country knows Ms. Grace is having a strategic marriage. The wedding announcement went out over a month ago. You're a big celebrity. Can't you even go online? Ethan froze. He recalled that for the past month, he had either been intimately with Sophie or doing commercial shows to boost his popularity, never taking the time to check the latest trending topics. The doorman rubbed his neck, muttering, "Seriously crazy. Everyone knows Ms. Grace announced her strategic marriage so urgently because you were spreading rumors on a live stream, claiming she was harassing you. Everyone knows Ms. Grace was so overwhelmed by your fans' abuse that she had to quickly announce her marriage." Ethan's heart clenched fiercely. He trembled as he pulled out his phone from his pocket. "You're lying. You must be lying. Grace promised me that she would." He gulped, suddenly remembering that, from beginning to end, I had never agreed to his idea of becoming his mistress or marrying him alongside Sophie. His social media post refreshed, and a new message popped up. The most explosive news, besides Daniel's comeback, was Evergreen Group CEO Grace announcing her strategic marriage. Clang, his phone crashed to the ground. Many entertainment reporters around heard the commotion and surrounded them. When they saw a disheveled Sophie, her makeup ruined from crying, wearing a wedding dress, and a shocked Ethan beside her, they immediately raised their cameras and rushed over. "Ethan, today is Ms. Grace's big wedding. Are you here to crash it? Didn't you say Ms. Grace was harassing you one-sidedly? Why are you with Ms. Sophie? And why is Ms. Sophie wearing a wedding dress? What's going on? Did you run here from your wedding with Ms. Sophie? Could you please explain your love triangle with Ms. Grace?" Sophie kept covering her face, tugging at Ethan and pleading, "Ethan, the paparazzi are here. Let's leave quickly anyway. You don't like Ms. Grace. And she's getting married now, so she won't bother you anymore. Isn't that great? Just let her be." Ethan's mind was filled with the past 10 years, his and Sophie's, 10 years ago. He was just a rookie actor playing minor roles, and Grace was a rich heiress who had just lost her parents. They met on a large historical drama invested in by Evergreen Group. Grace, inexperienced, tried to guide the filming and discuss promotions, but she was ridiculed by the prima donna director and investors. Ms. Grace, you're a pampered young lady. What do you know about investment and promotions? We're discussing things. What are you interjecting for? Your parents passed away. The best thing you can do is quickly find a capable man to marry and let your husband handle things. Why are you, a young girl, getting involved in all this? Grace looked pale as she stared at this group of men old enough to be her uncles or grandfathers, clenching her lips tightly to hold back her sadness. Ethan watched her hands, clenched on her skirt, already bleeding. He deeply pained and stepped forward to shield her. But this is the Lin family's territory, isn't it? Who do you think you are, daring to challenge the Lin family heir? At that moment, Grace looked at him with gleaming eyes. Because he stood up for Grace, he offended those influential figures and was blacklisted in the industry. Grace found him late at night, her slender figure resolute as she said, "Someday, I'm going to make you a superstar in this industry, someone everyone will look up to." Step by step, she built up the company, becoming a decisive CEO. She spent hundreds of millions to pave his way to the top. Any resources he wanted, any shows he wished to film, any roles he desired, Grace placed them all before him. He suddenly remembered his vow to propose to her once he won his grand. Back then, he had been so determined to let the entire world see and bless him and Grace at his most glorious moment. He even purchased a certain queen's jewelry at Sotheby's, embedding it into the family heirloom wedding ring. He suddenly recalled something, turned, and yanked the wedding ring from Sophie's finger. "Sophie, this ring is what I promised to give Grace. Later, if you see any wedding ring you like, just buy it with my card." Sophie's eyes were red, her gaze sorrowful and panicked. "Ethan, are you going to abandon me? Didn't you say you only loved me?" She grabbed Ethan, demanding an answer, but pushed Sophie away, disregarding everything as he rushed towards the wedding. "We'll talk about our issues later. Right now, I absolutely cannot stand by and watch Grace marry that scumbag, Derek." He pushed away the security guards, shouting, "I object to this marriage. Grace, you can't marry him out of spite. It's just $1 billion yuan agreement, isn't it? It'll help you fulfill it. I won't let them force you to marry Derek." As was causing a scene, the company executives also arrived. Their expressions were grave. They seemed not to have anticipated things escalating to this point. Seeing a disheveled Sophie at the entrance, surrounded by entertainment reporters, their faces immediately turned grim. "Ethan, what are you doing?" An executive stepped forward to admonish him. "Haven't you lost enough fans already?" Ethan spun around abruptly, rushed forward, and his fists landed on them. "You still dare to show up? You scumbags! You forced Grace to have a strategic marriage with Derek just for money," he roared, his voice shaking the glass in the lobby. "You all knew Derek was a perverse scumbag who plays with, and by year end, I have the lead role in a major film by a renowned director, a role that could allow me to aim for the Cannes Actor Award. I can definitely help Grace fulfill the performance agreement then. Once Grace gets full managerial control of the company, she'll kick all you scumbags out." The executives were thrown into disarray by his punches, and a few angry shareholders also charged forward. "Ethan, who do you think you are? You two-timing scumbag who cheated with Sophie. Not only did you betray Grace, but you also dared to threaten the company and Ms. Grace with switching jobs." They cursed and punched. "Your actions exacerbated the situation that led to Grace choosing a strategic marriage. What kind of hero are you pretending to be here? And aiming for the Cannes Actor Award? Your reputation is already ruined. Go online and see how your fans have turned from fans to haters and are cursing you. You violated the contract's no public dating clause and skipped work. The penalties won't be enough for what you've done. And you're still dreaming of aiming for Cannes? In your dreams." Ethan was punched in the chest but gritted his teeth in anger. "This is just a temporary setback. No matter what you say, once I stop this wedding, Grace will naturally find a way to bring me back to the top. And then I'll naturally be able to help her fulfill the performance agreement." Just as both sides were exchanging blows in a chaotic fight, the paparazzi around them suddenly shrieked, "Wait, wait, Ms. Grace's strategic marriage partner isn't the CEO of the rival entertainment company. The strategic marriage partner is Daniel. What on earth is going on?" The scene instantly plunged into even greater chaos. Ethan stopped, frozen in place, and all the executives and shareholders in the lobby were stunned. He looked up, gazing at the phone in a reporter's hand, and his heart violently clenched. In the lobby, apart from the paparazzi's shouts, there was silence. The wedding began, with a nationwide live stream simultaneously commencing. The camera focused on the altar, revealing that the man standing beside me, exchanging wedding vows, was none other than Daniel. His gaze was calm and deeply affectionate, his voice slowly resonating. "I do." The entire hall fell silent for a moment. Then applause and gasps erupted in unison. Ethan stood below the stage, his gaze locked onto him, his fists clenched white. Daniel continued, "I came out of retirement for Grace. This time, I will win Evergreen Group's first International Best Award for her." As his words fell, everyone present was stunned. Then, screams and cheers swept through the entire venue. Onlookers, guests, and even viewers watching the live stream all expressed envy and admiration. Daniel is so devoted. He truly is the one that got away in the entertainment industry. We absolutely have to support Daniel this time. To choose to make a comeback for the man he loves, and even aim for awards to bring her honor, it's incredibly touching. On camera, Daniel held my hand, his head slightly bowed, his eyes filled with determination. The atmosphere at the venue was incredibly fervent, everyone touched by this deep affection. The live comments section was flooded with messages, as netizens sent heart and flower emojis, discussing Daniel's genuine feelings and my decision. Ethan shook his head repeatedly, his voice hoarse. "No way. How could Grace possibly choose Daniel?" His gaze grew even more determined. Grace is only marrying Daniel because of that 1 billion performance agreement. Grace is being forced. He gritted his teeth and charged towards the wedding ceremony, leaving the surrounding guests and media stunned. "I absolutely cannot watch Grace marry someone she doesn't love, all because of a performance agreement," he yelled. While everyone was still in shock, he actually burst in. Everyone was intimidated by his presence, but his eyes were fixed solely on me. "Grace, don't marry him. He's not sincere. Everything he says is a lie. He's just using you to create buzz." He knelt on one knee, holding up the family heirloom wedding ring. "Grace, marry me. I'm the one you truly love, and the one who loves you most. Seeing you about to marry someone else, I suddenly realized I can't live without you. The person I love most has always been you." His eyes flickered with regret. "I promised you, once I won a grand, I would propose. Now, I'm fulfilling that promise. Grace, will you marry me? I swear I'll cut all ties with Sophie, and from now on, I'll dedicate myself to work, bringing you more awards and business collaborations." I watched him with interest, holding back Daniel, who was about to speak on my behalf, and asked calmly, "You're proposing to me. So what about your beloved Sophie? Didn't you say you only loved her?" Ethan's eyes wavered, his voice low and conflicted. "My kindness to Sophie was only because I saw the old you in her, that stubborn resilience, that refusal to bow down to capital. She reminded me of you, and I wanted to be good to her to make up for the pain you endured when you built up the company. But do you love her?" I pressed. He shook his head and said firmly, "I confused a fleeting emotion and thought I had fallen for Sophie, but in truth, the person I've always loved is you. Nothing ever happened between Sophie and me." I smiled, turning my gaze to Sophie, who had rushed in behind him. Sophie cried as she rushed forward, throwing herself onto Ethan, hitting him and sobbing. "You scumbag. You liar. You said you only loved me, and now I'm pregnant with your child." Ethan hastily protested. "It can't be my child. Years ago, I was diagnosed as infertile. That child of yours, it must be your sugar daddy's. You knew all along you were being a mistress to a nouveau rich boss just to get your foot in the entertainment door and land the lead role." Sophie's hand trembled, and she cried even harder. The atmosphere at the wedding venue completely erupted. Everyone was shocked by the confrontation. Media cameras flashed, and live comments continuously flooded the screen. I nodded at the live stream camera, signaling for it to be turned off. My objective achieved. This was normal in the industry. Producers would coddle and flatter newcomers with money and connections. Those who had nothing would simply become their punching bag. When I saw the newcomer's stubborn, tear-filled eyes, my heart suddenly tightened. I immediately rushed forward and blocked the slap the producer was about to deliver. "So that newcomer was you." Daniel looked at my surprised expression and smiled gently. "I always wanted to work hard to reach the top, so you would see me, but right after I won the Grand Best Award, I saw the sight of you on a date with Ethan later. My grandfather passed away, and my family pressured me to go back and inherit the family business. So I agreed." I stared at him blankly, then suddenly thought of a crucial question. So your arranged marriage. He gently kissed my fingers. Actually, I haven't had to worry about an arranged marriage for a long time. That was just a way to get your attention. What we have isn't a business marriage. I've secretly loved you all this time. And now my secret love is just becoming official. A hush fell over the venue. Ethan stood frozen for a long moment before collapsing defeatedly to the ground. Grace, do I really have no chance at all? I said calmly. Mr. Ethan, you might have a poor memory, but I told you from the very beginning that we were cutting all ties. Ethan's confirmed infidelity during our relationship was broadcast live for the entire nation to see. He violated the clause prohibiting public relationships during his contract period, and because he was skipping work, he ruined many collaborations, leading to his direct termination by the company. He was burdened with enormous compensation. Ethan, with nowhere left to turn, desperately sought out Sophie for support. Sophie, her eyes red, screamed at him. How dare you come to me, you scumbag? I thought you were a trustworthy man, which is why I chose to get close to you, to flirt with you, to clear my name and secure my future. I can't believe you betrayed me. I already got rid of the child. Now get lost. Otherwise, I'll have my new boyfriend break a leg. She slapped Ethan, then turned and left, returning to her nouveau rich boss. The nouveau rich boss, consumed by jealousy, immediately had his thugs beat Ethan up. Ethan had a leg broken and was disfigured. He could never return to the entertainment industry. His dream of a Cannes Actor Award was shattered. As for Daniel and me, holding hands, we lay on the beach, savoring the peace that finally belonged to us. The seaside sun warmed us. He took pictures of me. I teased him into making funny faces, and we laughed until our sides ached. That evening, we snuggled on the sofa watching old movies. He gently held my hand, a warmth that felt secure and real. No more commercial calculation. That's all for today's story. Thank you for listening. This is my channel. The tales I share, drawn from life or woven from imagination, are meant to offer you connection, reflection, and perhaps solace or newfound strength. If you long to see your own reflection in others' journeys, or seek a glimmer of light within the maze of emotions, subscribe to my channel. Listen with your heart. Explore the stories of life.